Okay, let's talk about the jab. People don't really think of the jab much when they think of peekaboo boxing. You know, Mike Tyson wasn't really known for his jab because he was usually facing guys that are a lot bigger than him. So a jab is typically used to kind of keep somebody away as a rangefinder. Tyson wasn't worried about that. He was trying to get in under him, get in close, so he didn't need a jab a lot, right? But a jab is very valuable, and there's a bunch of different ways to do a jab. So let's just touch on some of them. Basic drill everybody should work on is to be able to step laterally, right? So all I'm doing is I'm moving my right foot and then recovering with my left. Or if I'm in this stance, moving my left foot, recovering with my right. And I want to jab when I'm doing that, because that's a way I can be in front of the guy and then I can kind of work the angle, right? So we want to be ambidextrous, so I go one direction and then I'm going to switch and I'm going to go the other direction. Switch. As you can see, it's just this that's important mobility. Be able to move around somebody like that to get the angle, because he might be dodging and moving, and I've worked around where this is a hard angle for him to defend, so I set him up for something else. Okay? So that's that jab with a lateral step. Alright? Now, we already know for our peekaboo boxing, one of our primary ways to move is the slip. And you can jab off that slip. And it's very important to know how to do that, because if I'm here, the guy's jabbing at me, I move my head offline, I want to be able to hit him at the same time. You know, simultaneous attack and defense, or at least be more efficient, kind of surprising. You know, he expected to land, his jab slips over my shoulder, and as it does, I hit him with my own jab. So I can slip to my outside and still jab, right? So I practice slip, slip, jab. Slip, slip, ah! And I want to do it where I'm jabbing right as I slip, which is not as easy as you think it is, or it takes some work. I'll go this way. Now, you would probably ask yourself, well, how much power can that jab have if you're standing like this and punching across your body? It wouldn't if it was just your arm. But if you watch my other video where I talked about waist power, this is where you got to be able to do that. Because if I just slip, just try to hit him with my arm, there's not much there. But I slip, and now I can snap with my hip. I can still hit hard from this position with my hip. Because I'm doing this. Even though I look like I'm off balance, like I'm standing sideways, I'm still hitting with my hip. Bam, bam. And I can still hit hard that way. Okay? So that is kind of this upward jab where I've slipped to my outside. I can also slip to my inside. So he's throwing it and I slip so it goes over this shoulder. And as I do, I jab. So I slip, 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 jab. Slip, slip, slip. I'm from here, jab. Flip, flip, jab. You can see that kind of jab, boom, sets me up for that. And this is another one. You ask, well, how can you doing this and hitting have any kind of power to it? And it wouldn't if it was just my arm. But it's not just my arm. Remember, we talked about that pivot to generate power. When I slip this way and I hit, I'm still pivoting. Right? Even though this is my lead leg, slip, slip, pivot. I'm pivoting as I jab. This way, slip, 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 pivot. And it's that pivot that gives it power. Right? Slip, 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 boom. Okay? So, slip to the outside, slip to the inside. Okay? The other other jab is the jab to the body. So this one, as I'm here, been working, been doing things, and now I have to drop my weight and I have to turn on the ball of my lead foot. And that goes right into the solar plexus. And you notice I'm hitting and right back to my guard as fast as I can. If I'm farther back, I got to step. I step forward and then I'm pivoting. Still that same pivot we talked about. Step forward and then I'm pivoting as I drop my weight. If you watch my video on the energies, the 5 energies, the more you can add them together, the more powerful you're going to be. And you'll notice here, I'm dropping my level, I'm sinking, and I'm rotating, I'm advancing. That's all three energies in one. And that's why that can hit so hard, because I'm stepping in, dropping my weight, and pivoting. Okay? And that's the body jab. So, we talked about this skipping jab. It's important. We talked about slip jab to the outside, slip jab to the inside, and the body jab. Okay? You can work on all of those. All very important.